How to Learn and to Do Well on Your College Tests by me, Michael Hart, PhD. Form study groups. Use your classmates as a resource. I do not have any group assignments, at least none that I grade. I found them to be inconvenient for students, especially for conscientious students who often end up carrying slackers in their groups. So, all assignments are individual assignments, and you get graded solely on your individual performance. But study groups help you learn. They alleviate the psychological tension associated with getting ready for a test. And a lot of things get clarified in the process. An instructor can have a bad day in a live class and not particularly be effective in delivering the material. So study groups are a great way to get clarity if the instructor was fuzzy in his explanations. Also, sometimes even in a straightforward college course, some concepts are difficult to grasp. Maybe they're very abstract and you're not used to a lot of abstract thinking. Discuss these concepts in a group setting, and it will help you to understand such concepts. Use a study guide if one is available, but do not obsess over it. I try to upload a study guide for every one of my tests, and my study guides parallel the actual questions very closely, as do my lectures. But sometimes you encounter instructors whose study guides are vague or only loosely related to the actual test questions. And that is one reason not to rely on a study guide too much. Another reason why you do not want to rely too much on a study guide is because the long-term goal is to acquire and retain knowledge, and test taking should be approached as one of the steps toward that goal. Test taking should not be the final goal in and of itself. It should be an intermediate goal toward acquisition and retention of knowledge. Study early and often. Do not rely exclusively on cramming. When you cram only, you won't do well on the test. Or you might, even if you do well, you won't retain the information beyond the test. You will have vomited that knowledge that you acquired while cramming, and you will feel a sense of unpleasant relief, like that following a physical vomiting. The feeling will pass, but you won't retain much knowledge. Do not shy away from understanding connections between facts and ideas. Do not shy away from understanding connections between facts and ideas, even if the connections themselves are not a part of the test or not explicitly mentioned in the study guide. Retaining knowledge by simply stacking bits and pieces of information on top of one another in your mind is not effective. You need to move away from this Lego block approach to knowledge, in which bits of knowledge are like Lego blocks, and you assemble them into a construct that you then use to ace a test. Connections in the form of figures of speech, like analogies and metaphors, are not extra information or too much information. They help your mind form the context necessary to retain what you need to remember for the test. Take notes. Taking notes is an important part of the learning process. Whether you type up your notes using software like MS Word or you take notes by hand, doing so helps you enormously in retaining information. In summary, 5 things for learning and doing well on your college tests. 1. Form study groups. 2. Use a study guide if one is available, but do not obsess over it. 3. Study early and often. 4. Do not shy away from understanding connections between different parts of the course material. And 5. Take notes. Good luck.